You know that feeling when the weight of everyday life just seems a little too heavy? Like you could use a reminder of something bigger, something more.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this week we're diving into Doctrine and Covenants, section 88. It's the focus for the Come Follow Me study for August 11th through 17th.
And this isn't just like dry history. This is a revelation that's absolutely packed with insights that can really shift your perspective.
hmm
It talks about God's boundless majesty and power. It's quite something.
Absolutely. So our mission, let's say, for this deep dive is to, well, unpack some of those really big ideas, right?
hmm
Things like light, law, learning, this whole concept of a holy house,
hmm
and kind of see how they actually connect with your life right now.
Exactly. And there's this incredible promise kind of woven through it all, verse 49, that the day shall come when you shall comprehend even God. Imagine that.
Wow, yeah. And it's even more striking when you think about when this revelation was given.
Right. Just days after that really intense warning in section 87 about war being poured out upon all nations.
Talk about a contrast. You go from this dire warning to
It
this.
really is. And Joseph Smith himself called section 88 an olive leaf.
Ah, like the story of Noah.
Precisely. Straight from
Um,
Genesis 8, that symbol of peace after the flood.
yeah.
So it signals right away this is meant to bring peace, some solace.
So as we go through it, maybe keep an eye out, for those messages of peace that are kind of embedded in the verses.
Definitely worth doing.
Okay, so let's jump into something that really stands out early on, verses 6 through 67.
Oh, yeah.
The words light and law, they just keep appearing, don't they? Almost together.
They really do. It's like they're intertwined. The study material prompts us, to really think about what this section teaches about light and about law, and specifically about Jesus Christ in relation to both.
And how does it connect them?
Well, think about it. Christ is the light, right? John 1 tells us that. He's also the one who gives the law. He fulfills the law.
Mm.
So the light and the law both emanate from him. They're expressions of his nature, his power.
So the law isn't just rules, it's connected to his light.
That seems to be the idea here. It's the law of Christ, as verse 21 puts it. Living that law helps us receive more of his light. It guides us towards the light because it originates from the light, from him.
That's a powerful way to look at it. Not just obligations, but pathways to illumination.
Exactly. And the study materials mention some great talks, too. Elder Deitch's on light cleaveth unto light, Sharon Eubank on Christ being the light in darkness. They really explore this connection.
Good resources to check out. So flowing from this idea of light and law, we get this really direct invitation, verses 62 to 64.
Draw near unto me.
And I will draw near unto you. Seek me diligently, and ye shall find me. Ask, and ye shall receive. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. That's incredible, personal and direct.
It really is. And notice the reciprocity there. You draw near, he draws near. You seek, you find. It requires action on our part. It's an active relationship being described.
Have you, felt that promise work in your own life? Those times you really make an effort to seek.
I think most people who try have felt it. Maybe not always dramatically, but that sense of feeling closer, getting an answer, feeling guided. It happens when you genuinely seek. It makes that promise very real, very tangible.
Yeah, those moments of clarity when you're really trying, they stick with you. And the suggestion to use the hymn, Nearer, My God, to Thee, that just reinforces that feeling, doesn't it? That yearning to connect.
It really does capture that sentiment perfectly.
Okay, so after this invitation to draw near, the revelation then repeats this command, sanctify yourselves. We see it in verses 68 and 74.
Yeah, sanctify. That word can sound a bit churchy or maybe intimidating.
A little formal, maybe. So what does it mean
no.
in this context?
Well, the Guide to the Scriptures gives a good, straightforward definition. It means to become clean, pure, holy, free from sin.
Okay, clean, pure, holy, but how? How does that actually happen? Is it just trying really, really hard?
That's the key question, isn't it? And verses 67 through 76 point directly to the answer.
Yeah.
It's through the atonement of Jesus Christ.
Ah, right.
He is the one who sanctifies us. Our part is to come unto him, follow his teachings, repent, make covenants. But the actual cleansing, the making holy, that's his power, his grace.
So it's not about achieving perfection on our own steam, but about accessing his power through his sacrifice.
Precisely. It's a crucial distinction. Our effort connects us to his sanctifying power.
That makes it feel more achievable, more hopeful. Okay, so the revelation then kind of shifts gears a bit, doesn't it, towards learning.
Yeah, it gets practical. It talks about setting up the School of the Prophets there in Kirtland.
Verses 77 through 80, and then again 118 through 126.
And what's really cool is how these instructions, as President Nelson pointed out, aren't just historical. They're like a blueprint for our own learning, our own growth. This idea of establishing a house of learning in our personal lives.
I like that personal learning blueprint. The manual even suggests maybe sketching that out, using phrases from the verses, makes it very concrete.
It does. And it pushes us to ask some important questions. Why is learning so important to the Lord? I mean, he really emphasizes it here.
And what does he want us to learn? It's not just theology, is it?
Not at all. Look at verses 77 to 80. Things in heaven, things in the earth, things under the earth, things which have been, things which are, things which must shortly come to pass, things at home, things abroad, the wars and perplexities of nations. It's incredibly broad.
Wow, okay. So basically, understand the world around you, past, present, future, spiritual, temporal, everything.
Seems like it. He wants us to be knowledgeable, engaged people. And then there's the how. Verse 118 is key. Learn by study and also by faith.
Okay, that phrase, study and faith. How do those two work together? Sometimes they can feel like they're in tension.
That's a great point. It's not one or the other. It's both hand. Study involves our intellect, our effort, using resources, thinking critically. Faith involves opening ourselves to the Spirit, seeking revelation, trusting in God's wisdom even when we don't have all the answers intellectually.
So like, you do your homework, you read, you analyze, but you also pray. You listen for promptings. You trust that God can illuminate your understanding beyond just the facts.
Exactly. Elder Held gave a great talk on seeking knowledge by the Spirit, and there's good material in the Gospel Library on seeking truth. They explore how that synergy works. You engage your mind and your spirit.
Mind and heart working together. Got it.
And this focus on learning, this spiritual and intellectual growth, it leads right into the next instruction in verse 119. Establish a house of God.
Right. Now, immediately we might think of temples, and that's definitely relevant.
Absolutely. But the context here, with the School of the Prophets often meeting just in a room, suggests it's broader too.
Like making our own homes, our own spaces, into places where God's Spirit can dwell, places dedicated to learning and growing closer to Him.
Precisely that. Creating environments, whether it's the temple, the chapel, or your living room, where you prioritize spiritual things, where you seek light and truth. It's about the atmosphere and purpose of the space.
Makes sense. It brings it right down to our daily lives. The historical note mentioning Newell K. Whitney and Frederick G. Williams, it reminds you these were real people trying to figure this out too.
Yeah, they were building this literally and figuratively from the ground up.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground from section 88.
We have.
We started seeing it as this olive leaf, this message of peace, which is powerful given the context.
Peace from Christ.
Then we dove into that deep connection between light and law, seeing Jesus Christ as the source of both.
And that invitation, that promise to draw near to Him, and He will draw near to us.
Followed by the call to sanctify yourselves, understanding that it's His atonement that makes us holy as we come to Him.
And then that whole blueprint for learning the breadth of what God wants us to know, and that crucial method of learning by both study and faith.
Leading ultimately to this idea of establishing a house of God, not just in dedicated buildings, but in our own lives, our own homes, creating sacred space.
It all ties together, really. These are all ways we move towards that incredible promise we mentioned at the start, eventually comprehending even God. Each step brings us closer.
So maybe the final thought to leave with you, the listener, is this. How can actively seeking light and truth, using both your mind and your faith, change not just what you understand, but the actual feeling, the spirit of the spaces you live in?
Yeah, could your home, your study space, wherever, become more of a house of God this week?
Maybe think about one specific thing, one action inspired by this revelation that you could try this week to make that happen.
In the quiet of a humble room, where the light of truth begins to bloom, we gather with hearts open wide to build a house where He will reside. In the whispers of the sacred space, we feel His peace, we seek His face. The law of love is clear and bright, guiding us with heaven's light. Oh, establish a house of God where His glory is known. In the temple in our hearts, let His holiness be shown. Through study and through prayer, through faith we'll draw near. In the house of God we're made whole. where wisdom echoes through the walls. With every word, with every prayer, we're taught to rise, to love, to care. A space to learn, a place to grow, to understand what we don't know. His kingdom's light shines far and wide as we prepare to walk with pride. Oh, establish a house of God where His glory is known. In the temple in our hearts, let His holiness be shown. Through study and through prayer, through faith we'll draw near. In the house of God we're made whole. He's always here. He's always here. Seek me and ye shall find a promise to hearts so kind. In every home, in every soul, His light will make us whole. In this house, both near and far, we come to know who we really are. Oh, establish a house of God where His glory is known. In the temple in our hearts, let His holiness be shown. Through study and through prayer, through faith we'll draw near. In the house of God we're made whole.